Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek, bringing you our second, well, I guess this will actually be our third episode of Slaughterville. Welcome to Slaughterville. And it'll be our third actually because the first one I did the setup. This will be the second round of gameplay. And in that we have three characters. We have the Goth. She's a chick that likes the graveyard, the cemetery a whole bunch. We got the hottie and the nerd going up next, and they're doing pretty good, and they're trying to find out how to stop the horrible Headless Horseman. That's pretty awful, and that's what we're doing. So we're going to get right into it. If you don't know how to play the game and you want to learn, go back to the first video. I kind of talk about setup and gameplay, and then you'll also get to see the first turns if you go back, so you'll be able to see that as well. But let's get right into it. I didn't have any actual mistakes that I believe occurred last time, so yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so I kind of did make a mistake. These special abilities, Hey Come Here, Nerd Rage, and the Goth Chick's Ambivalence are triggered by the use of clues. So we'll have to remember that going forward. But anyway, let's just get started. So this first player token is going to move over to the hottie. She's going to be our first player. Now, unfortunately, because of the way the Headless Horseman works, all of the players had to go back to the entrance of Slaughterville and have to move again to explore, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. So we know we got a couple of things we have to do. We definitely need someone to go to the church because this deacon is in the discard pile. We definitely need someone to go to asylum because the famous guy's there. And as the Headless Horseman takes heads from these victims that he goes by, he gets more powerful. So we can stop him by being the one there and encountering him instead. So with the hottie, she's the red pawn. I think that what we're going to do with her, since she likes famous people, right, she's going to go to the asylum, which is right over here. So for her first action, she's going to move to the asylum. For her second action, she's going to encounter the location. Now it says, if a player is at the asylum at the beginning of her turn, which she's not, so none of that will take effect. So we're just going to draw a card. We're going to encounter the location. It says group therapy. It's an event. You remember being on a tour. You remember them telling you this room is where the group therapy sessions were held. Suddenly you find yourself sitting in a chair. The dead surrounding you, each in their own chair. They are not attacking, they are waiting. Can you listen to their stories? Make a will check or mind check of blah blah blah. If you succeed, you get a clue. So we're going to do that. Okay, so the hottie, she's got a mind of 3 or will of 3. I keep calling them by different things, and I just want to make sure I'm telling you what they are because, well, you know, that's the way it goes. Yeah, so that is going to be the nerve, actually. So her nerve, she's going to test her nerve. It's a 3, and we're going to see if she can succeed. Now remember, we succeeded on a 5 or a 6. Oh, we did succeed. So she gains a second clue token. Good for her. And then this card goes into the asylum's discard pile. Now next up we have the Goth Chick, and she had gone to the cemetery, but again, because of the encounter with the Headless Horseman, they had to move back. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to take her to the church, where she's going to encounter the church location. So we know that the deacon is there. One of the reasons I'm doing that is I want to protect these allies in the discard pile from the Headless Horseman. But let's draw her card there for her second action. She's going to encounter the space. The chaplain, it's an ally. This man sees how hard you are working to make Slaughterville a better place. He offers you his services as a chance to do some real good in town. Attach the chaplain to gain +1 perception. We will attach the chaplain. So the chaplain is now hanging out with our Goth Chick. So good for her. She gets a +1 bonus on her perception. That was a good round for her as well. Sorry guys, started to choke on a cookie. or whatever it was, I don't know. Anyway, now we got to go on to the our nerd. the nerd. Guys, got something in my throat, guys. I apologize. I think what we're going to do with the nerd is he is going to take a shot at the antique store. I don't know. Yeah, let's do the antique store. He's going to go there, and he's thinking, maybe I can get something good at the antique store. So he's going to go there. Boom. It's his first move, and then he's going to encounter the antique store. A Colt revolver. A revolver. Well, that's pretty good. This is an event and item. It says, inside a glass case is the weapon of many of your childhood heroes. You want to help defend yourself against the dark denizens of Slaughterville. The shopkeeper says that he will only accept trades, but he doesn't need any of your things. You may detach 2 items from any other player. Okay, we don't have any other items. If you do, attach the Colt revolver to gain +1 dice. So we cannot do this. So this is going to go into the discard pile. And it does say that a player at the antique store, during his or her turn, he or she may detach an item, but we don't have the ability to do that. And that is going to be the end of the player's turn. So now we're going to go on to the Headless Horseman. And now we know what he does, but I'm going to just revisit this. So we can spend, the players can detach clues at any time to in order to go after the Headless Horseman too, but we haven't done that yet. We're trying to gather our resources. Now the Headless Horseman does have a gleaming blade now, so he's actually a little better at fighting us. That's not good. And it says on the villain's turn, the Headless Horseman rides through each location, starting with the first location. If a player is present, he must engage in a single fight round. The Headless Horseman, if there is no player, the Headless Horseman kills that ally, remove that ally from the game. And the Headless Horseman heals 1d3 damage. If there are no allies in the discard pile, overturn one until one is found. The ally now becomes part of the discard pile, because the next turn, if we don't protect him or her, then the Headless Horseman will kill them. So we're going to get started. We're going to take the Headless Horseman's pawn, and he is going to start his ride through the cemetery. So the ceremonial blade is not an ally. On-screen riders or on-screen teleport is not off-screen teleport. Rather, is not an ally. Not an ally. Caretaker. Wait, this says Caretaker Jim. Event ally. Okay. So it says, you see a man carrying a shovel. As you approach, he asks why you are trampling over his hard work. Okay, well, he's going to go in the discard pile here. He's an ally. And that's exactly what the horseman wants to do there, but that's all he's going to do. So next he trounces on to the church. Now, the church is where the goth chick is. The church, the goth chick has a combat factor of 2. That's not great. She has no items, but she does get +1 to her combat while she's at the church. And remember, she does have her ambivalence ability if she were to need it. So right now we're going to fight the Headless Horseman. He's currently at a 7 combat because he's got the gleaming saber. And just double check that and make sure it is only bumped by 1. It is. Okay. So that gives him a total of 7 dice against her 2. Not very good odds. Looks like we could take some serious damage. Okay, now we're going to have to roll 1 extra black dice because I only have 6 of these in the game. But here we go. Boom. Okay, well that was bad. So now I'm also going to take this one. I'm going to re-roll it, and that'll be his roll, and it was still a 1. So he got 3 hits. The goth girl blocked 1 of them, which means she's going to take 2 hits. Boom. And I think she's just going to take them for right now. There they are. And she took 2 hits, and then she also, unfortunately, gets bumped back to the main entrance, because when you lose a single fight round with the Headless Horseman, you go back to the entrance, or with any villain for that matter. Okay, let's continue on. Oh wait, you know what though? Hold on. I don't know why I rolled 2 dice. I should be rolling 3 dice for her. She's at the church. So let's see if she... Maybe... No, she didn't. Okay, I thought she could block that one of those points of damage, but she failed to do so. But we don't kill the deacon, and the Headless Horseman moves on to the antique store, where he's now going to battle the nerd. Now, our nerd has a combat of 2 as well, and that's really it. He doesn't have a token to spend, so he can't spend his Nerd Rage ability. He's just going to have to fight it out. My gut's telling me I got a really difficult villain here, especially for my first real playthrough, but we'll see. Okay, so, yeah, there was, again, 3 hits, no hits from the, no hits at all, saved from the nerd. But we're going to have to roll another die. 6. Okay, so we had a total of, this was not originally a 6. We have a total of 4 hits, no blocks, so the nerd who has 7 health has just taken 4 of them in one shot. Now, we can heal. We got ways to do that, but we didn't, unfortunately. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 health damage on the nerd. That was bad. Okay, now let's go to continue on. Okay, well now the Headless Horseman is running off to the asylum where he will encounter the hottie. Now the hottie has a strength of 2 as well and no items. Now we could use her ability to draw one of the other players there. I don't see a value in that for her. She does currently have 1 wound as well. Okay, well here's our predicament, same as before. Boom. Man, this is not good. Okay, so we got 2 hits. That's not too bad. And only 1 block from the hottie. Plus we get to have to roll an extra die as a 1. So basically our hottie took another point of damage. Not the worst thing that could have happened. She's at 2 now. And then we get to go back to the table. I don't know, I might be underestimating this, but this might be a short game. So he goes on to here. Now you see there's no ally, so we're going to draw a card until there's an ally. There's a pistol. Oh, that's an event. A ghost. This is in the residential neighborhood. A monster in my closet is an event. I like that. An event. An ally. The medium is now out. And then that's going to be it for that. And then the Headless Horseman moves on to here. I'm going to get an ally out. The 45 caliber. The over the railings. This is at the haunted house. Safe for now. We're just looking for an ally. Nope. Man, I gotta get through this. We're trouncing through this deck with no allies. Maybe there aren't any. I don't know. Item. Event. Boom. Event. Wow, we're going to go through the whole deck before we get an ally. I'm just going to keep flipping faster. It's just taking too long. Looks like there we go. The unsettling denizens. There's the ally that we have in the deck. Okay. And that is going to then get discarded there. Okay. And I got to look it up. I think you would reshuffle these back in the way this works on the Headless Horseman. So I'm going to check that because I did do this on the other ones too. But that's going to end the rounds for the Headless Horseman running through town. He's now going to head back to his hidden lair where he's going to draw one of his cards. The thing that really sucks is we haven't been able to do any damage to him, and each one of these cards he loses does equal damage, but it makes him stronger. Taken away. You feel yourself leaving the ground. Galloping, the Headless Horseman takes you back to his home. Move the first player to the villain starting area. On the first player's next turn, he or she must make I think that's an agility roll, agility check. If the first player succeeds, he or she moves to any location. If the first player fails, he or she skips the rest of their turn and moves to a random location. Well, that's not good. So let's see. So the first player was our hottie. So the Headless Horseman attempted to take the hottie and took her back to his lair, and where we will then discard the card from the Headless Horseman. Alright, now that's basically a whole round, guys. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, all that good stuff. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. And, I had taken a short absence due to illness, which I'm not through with yet. I have a surgery that's coming up very soon. And it's not going to be any fun. But once that's through, I'll be back completely on my feet. So I really appreciate that when I had taken a little bit of time off and had then put up a video, so many people jumped back in and watched it and commented and sent me mail and all that good stuff. I really appreciate that. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks again for the subscriptions. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.